everyone. Barbara here. I'm going to be joining Becky and Amanda for our podcast, Wild Honey from the Rock. I hope you enjoy it.
That's why I was going to talk about it at breakfast.
I know, we all empty-headed.
What, the topic?
Yeah.
You don't have an idea of one?
That's what the coffee and brainstorming was for.
Right.
But we talked about other things like honey. We could talk about our name.
Yeah, that's
Wild
good.
Honey.
Why don't we talk about us getting back together?
Okay.
And then we could go into the name, because if we're going to talk for an hour, we'd probably take both.
It began with you and that journalist.
Yeah. Actually, I was already doing it and she interviewed me.
But was that the first time you verbalized it, though?
No.
So you and Dad had a ministry show years and years ago on national television, and you never wanted to do that.
No.
You wanted to be more private. You didn't want to do that show, and everyone kept asking you to do a women's program, and you didn't want to do that either.
Mm-hmm. I was wrestling with all of that. I really wanted to do a women's I did want to do a women's program, but I needed it to be on my terms. You know, I didn't want it to be the company like telling me what to do or how to do it. And so I actually sort of had, I don't know if it was a thought or just the Lord or whatever, but I felt like at the time the Princess of England was still alive, Diana. And I watched her and I thought, she is so brave, because can you imagine marrying into that family and being told what to do every time you turned around? But I thought she stood up for what she believed in, no matter what the Queen said. And she had impacted an entire generation with her courage and all of her beauty and grace and everything. And I thought, if she can do that, on such a huge scale, I could do this and try to help encourage women, etc., etc. And so I think then I don't know if I asked you to do.
Well, it's interesting because you were working at the network. Were you in short form, like making promotional videos and stuff like that? Was I working for you then, or was I might have been working for Kent, just in that.
Not
You weren't
yet.
in the same department yet?
No, you were with the boys, and your focus was with the boys at that time.
Oh, so then I was writing. Well, no, so I was doing ministry relations. I was returning letters.
Yes.
People would write in. There was no ministry development department, so we had no back and forth communication yet. This was a long time ago.
Yes.
So people were writing in with prayer requests, and I started writing them letters back, and then I moved into production.
Yes.
So I don't know if somebody suggested to you, or if you wanted to, but a mother-daughter special was brought forward.
The first week I worked at INSP, I came to David and Barbara's house, and I didn't know who they were. So I get to the front door, and I think it said on the welcome mat Cirillo. I think it said that. And I looked at my camera guy, and I go, what are their names again? And he said, what? And I was like, I don't know who they are. I don't know. And so we walked in the door, and we walked into the foyer, and I looked around, spun around, as you know I would do, and I said, are you guys from California?
You could just tell by the colors in the house or something?
Yes, and the design, and the feel, and the
because this was North Carolina in the 90s? 2000s.
2000s. The 2000s. So I knew that there was something different about that design, that full of life, free, that kind of thing. Not that old traditional, like the dark burgundy, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody was doing darker things in the South. And so Ozzy practically jumped over furniture to get to me, to introduce me to David. And which I thought was, okay, I understand, I need to calm down just slightly. So I brought it down a bit, and then Barb walked out of her room, and it was like, ah. And so I immediately totally loved her, and I think we even hugged.
Probably.
Yes. And then she showed me the sitting room where we were going to do the interview, and I came in and I was like, oh, yes, this is so wonderful.
And you guys just talked.
And we sat and talked until the tape ran out. And we just shared and talked and laughed and cried, and we just became friends in that interview. It wasn't an interview. It was just a connection, friendship.
We need to find that video.
We do.
Oh, wow.
Because it's beautiful.
Oh,
You know it's a beautiful...
I went and listened to it again. I don't remember what
It was wonderful. And then at the end you said, some of those things I've never told anybody before.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, well, okay. So I'll make sure those don't get on air. And so then, true friendship came, and then I continued to do little devotionals with Barb, and little moments like we would, just talk about different things, and then I would make little clips about it, and then your dad, I would do daily devotions. You guys wrote books about daily, and we would take them and do little scripts, and then one day we were in the green room getting ready for something, and Barb said, sit down, Amanda, and I'm like, okay, and because I'm running 500 miles an hour, and so she wanted me to sit with her, and you told me, you said,
You don't cry very often.
So you told me, you said, Amanda, there are a handful of people in my life that I absolutely adore and love, and one of them is my daughter, and she is an absolute wonderful jewel, but she has a hard time making friends, and I feel the same about you, and I want you guys to, I want you to meet her. And so I was absolutely honored and delighted that you would think of me in that way, because I thought of you in that way, that you were my friend. I didn't think of it as a job. I can go and get a job anywhere, anytime, doing anything, but I knew it was friendship, and
I didn't know that, because at the same time, I had only been in Charlotte maybe a year, and we only had one car. I was married and had at least Sammy, and I was home with the baby, and I worked from home writing for Dad, but I didn't get out. So not only do I not make friends well, I didn't get out to be with people, to see people, to make friends. So my grandma was worried about me, Grandma Teresa, and she would always call every week, and we would talk, and she said, Becky, I'm going to pray for God to send you a friend. And I said, Grandma, thank you so much. Like, it was like this deep hidden desire of your heart that you probably would never vocalize, and then like here your grandma is like saying, seeing through to that, and then asking the Lord for it, and within a week I met you. It was like right away. Like she prayed, and then it was like the next week I met you.
And then immediately we knew that we were sisters, and then we were like-minded, and we were on this journey together, whatever it was. David approached us and said, hey, Mother's Day is coming. Can you guys do a Mother's Day special? We didn't have any idea what we were doing. We just knew that it had to be a relational thing and real. And so then we went in Becky's closet upstairs, and we started pulling stuff out.
I think you did that without us knowing. Do you remember?
No.
Well, because I think we were in the kitchen talking. I was doing the cabbage soup diet. I remember talking about how hungry I was.
Right.
And you come in, do you guys remember this? And you were like holding up either Girl Scout patches or dance costumes, something from my closet.
Yes. Yeah, I just went in there, I guess, and just
grabbed stuff.
Just pulled stuff out because I knew that you were so involved in all of those areas. And then, of course, that is awesome relational stuff. So yes, I guess I went, and then we shot, just told stories in that thing. It wasn't any kind of format. And then we looked at it and we're like, maybe we probably need an idea of what we're doing. So then we went into the studio, remember, and I sat you down, and then I asked questions. I'm like, okay, so Barb, were you like a Girl Scout den mother? What were you? And then you began to tell, and then that's when I rolled in these things about it. And then David came into the studio while we were shooting that, and he whispered to me, he came over and he said, Amanda, can you make 5 episodes of this during that? And I'm like, maybe. Sure, why not? So then we just shot that whole day telling stuff, and then we turned it into a whole week of mother-daughter.
Oh, like a special?
I
don't remember that. Do you remember that?
And wait. Then Ben and Jessica came to your house and brought you flowers. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And then we shot that, and so we incorporated that, and you hugged them, and we put that in. I think that was the end of the special. That was how we closed it out. So while we were editing it, I heard that quote that you said, "I'm an everyday woman," while I was watching the footage. And what is the quote? I'm an everyday woman. I live an everyday life.
Oh, this was the download from the Lord you got when you were washing dishes?
Yes.
I'm an everyday woman. I live an everyday life. And then it was something about you need to speak to other everyday women.
Okay.
It was some sweet, and it was like, yes, right. And because I felt like an everyday woman.
I didn't identify.
But you didn't identify because I wasn't there yet. I didn't realize how extraordinary.
No, it's the idea that everyone is special. Everyone is uniquely gifted, uniquely designed by God, with amazing gifts, and the word felt flat to me. I don't know.
Well, but see, my generation, I had watched so many first ladies, and their life was
intangible or out of.
It was untouchable,
Mm.
and they were elevated to a position that was above. And that's why when I said every day,
relatable.
I didn't mean common. I meant I am just like my neighbor.
Right.
As far as I have needs, I have pain, I have joy, and I want to share it with friends who can understand and corroborate. I get that because we need that, and we're built up for that. God built us to need one another, and so that was my perspective. Maybe I never really explained it very well, but I totally believe that we're uniquely made, and we have gifts that only God has given to us to give back. If He didn't want us to be here, He wouldn't have created us.
Right. And I felt, sorry, I didn't mean
No, it's okay.
I felt that way. When you said that to me, I felt like it wasn't, I'm small and I'm a mouse in the corner and I'm, just regular and average. I felt like what Yahovah was saying is you can relate. You're not unrelatable. You're not up on this high pedestal where you've separated yourself, that you can't speak to the regular average, the lady in the grocery store that's, buying food right next to you.
Mm-hmm.
You have the same things in common. You're doing the same things.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff that's what I felt like it was. Is that, and I knew you. I knew that you were real people. I knew that you never thought and never felt like you were more than, than the regular people. I mean, you hung out with me, I'm a regular person. so yeah, that's kind of how I remember Everyday Woman.
Well, so it was a week-long special then,
Yes.
and the viewers either enjoyed it so much that they asked us to do more, or maybe Dad asked you to pray about doing more, or maybe you were ready to.
I don't remember.
Maybe you had the Diana epiphany at
after
that point.
Well, I remember you coming. I was downstairs at our old Charlotte house in the basement area, and you came and talked to me about it.
Well, I don't remember what precipitated in between, like jumping from the special to our own show, but I do remember you really wanting to feel like the Lord had purpose, asked us, that you wanted to know what we had to say. And so we both prayed separately about it and then came back together and shared what we felt like we had heard. And one of the things that you heard from the Lord is, Barbara, I want you to tell women how much I love them.
Yes.
And the thing that I had heard was, Becky, I want you to challenge women to love me back, to walk with me. And so I saw this full circle of God loves you, love him back. He loves you so much, love him back. And so it was this circle of course we have to do this. It makes sense. Yeah.
We were hanging out with Andrew in the audio department, and he was making some music or something, and we were in there, and I said, Becky, we should do it. We should do this. We should really do a show, and we should sing the open. And I'm like, do you sing? And you're like, not really. And I'm like, I don't really sing either, but I mean, I think that you could probably do it. And so Andrew, he said, yes, come in. We'll get in the booth. Let's do it. And then it was
lie.
Yeah.
Well, did you want it to reflect your Scottish English heritage, or did we have this idea for you and we surprised you?
No, I don't think so. You know how intentional we are.
Yes.
I mean, down to the detail.
Well, so this is part of then the terms you were giving the Lord is I want it on my terms. I want it to reflect me. And so much of you was overshadowed by Dad's family. And so I think we went into sort of like a Celtic vibe. We leaned hard into that because that was your DNA and heritage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not Italian, not Jewish, Celtic.
That's
so
right.
We had the pan flute or whatever it is. I don't know.
Yes, right.
Some kind of Irish instrument.
When we were recording that, you were doing your vocals and playing around and trying different things because you're not a singer, but we wanted to be a part of it as much as we all possibly could be, right? Because we wanted it to be ours, like ownership.
Yeah.
And then Barb, I walked out to the parking lot and I'm looking out at MediaCom and I'm talking to you and I was kind of pacing back and forth. And I don't know what was going on with you at the moment, but there was something stressful and I said, Barb, we really just need to push through this, whatever it is that's. I don't know what's all going on, and I don't need to know. And then she said, Amanda, I'm working on it.
Okay.
And I was like, and I believed her. And then that was it. We did not ever have that conversation ever again about making it happen because you told me that you were working on it. And I was like, I believe it. So we moved forward, remember? And we did colors and then we built the set and we painted the set and got furniture.
Yes, so slip covers,
Goodwill.
Made a model with Polly Pocket.
Yes, we did. But you didn't know how to sew a slip cover.
No.
Do you remember? And we just went.
We got sheets from Target because it was like big, huge fabric, shabby chic.
Yeah, it
Country
was
Rose
Ashworth.
something. Yeah.
Rachel Ashworth,
Yeah.
the shabby chic
Yeah.
lady from Malibu, remember?
Yes, yes.
We loved all of her stuff. It was
Mhm.
so feminine and light and airy and free. So we painted an
Mhm.
old, big piece of furniture white.
Well, it was there were set.
There were panels.
There were panels it was like deep, beautiful mahogany, and we used the panels to build out like a living room set, and so we painted them.
Right.
You taught me to like faux paint, and then like we also stenciled.
Yes.
Because this was back in the beginning of the shabby chic movement.
Right.
In fact, the set was too cool on camera, and we changed it, and so it was all blue and white.
Right. We had to bring in yellow or something,
so
right,
then
to warm
we
it.
repainted it all gold.
Yes.
And then brought in the reds and golds and made
Because
it
we weren't set designers.
right.
But we sure knew what we liked.
Yeah.
And we were just...
It was a pretty house.
It was a very pretty house. We just didn't know it would look on camera.
Yeah.
But we did it.
We did.
Yeah.
That was the whole point. It was ours, so we did it.
Yeah.
Right. And we had ownership on it.
Mhm.
And it was very fulfilling
Mm-hmm.
that we were able to work on every aspect of it. And then look at it and go, hey, we did that.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
And our budget was very unlimited, but we made it work.
Yes.
I mean, you went to like Goodwill and stuff like that and got stuff.
Right. A lot of the furniture. And then I remember that really cool guy that ran the warehouse. He and
Yeah.
I would go and search
Yes.
at all the old sets.
Yeah.
And then he would
Yeah.
help me pull them out. And
Yeah.
and then I would send you guys pictures or whatever. And I'd say, what do you guys think? Should we paint this? Should we, sand it down? What should, and then we'd all discuss. And
Mhm.
it was so fun because it was like a treasure hunt,
Mhm.
finding all the pieces that we knew that they were there. We just had to uncover
Yeah.
them. And then once we had it together, we didn't really know what the format was going to be. We just knew that he wanted to say something through this to ladies, to love them through it, and so we thought, well, we love tea.
Mhm.
And
So we started with tea. We always started with tea.
Mhm.
Real tea. Like we
Yeah.
poured hot tea and did the whole.
Mhm.
It wasn't like TV tea.
Staged.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I always felt like I wanted to be with you, but I wanted to be with the camera directing, so I kind of wanted to do the Gilman thing, of
Yeah.
Oh,
Regis
yeah.
and Kathy. Do you remember? And that's what we were thinking we would,
Yeah.
I wanted to be with you, but I also wanted to be doing the job, because I was hired, to do my job. So I couldn't just sit and drink tea all day.
All right.
So it was, I was so thrilled and excited, and I loved getting the ladies at the network excited about it too. They were so thrilled that you guys were doing something.
I think anytime women are given a voice in ministry, it's an exciting moment because so much, at least I can speak for Western culture in our faith, our system of faith, really shuts down the feminine voice, and which is not really in Scripture at all. Like Jesus, he was one of his most revolutionary aspects was how much he empowered women,
Mhm.
and they had a prominent role in following him, and they were entrusted to be the first evangelists. They were given the good news to go and share that Christ had risen. It was Mary's.
He revealed himself to her first.
Yeah, and so and Paul too. He had apostles with him that were women, and they just if you study a real healthy version of the early church, there's such a prominent role for women, and yet they've been pushed out for cultural reasons and whatever else, and so the voice is small.
Misappropriation of Scripture. What
Yeah.
Scripture says.
Yeah. So I think that there's always an excitement of like, Yay!
Yeah. Yes, this book Becky gave me, Guardian Angel.
Yes, yeah.
You must get the abridged edition because it's so heady. This is a professor of somatic languages, Skip Mullen, and he wrote this book. And Hebrew is a very complicated language. There's a prefix. If you add a prefix to the word or a suffix to the word, it can change the meaning. Anyway, I'm not going to go into a lesson about that. But 4 gifts God gave specifically to women. You have to help me because I only one I really ever remember is intuition.
Oh, I actually haven't read it.
Oh, you haven't? Becky, you've got to do that. You need to do
I have it,
just
but
on
I haven't.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean.
Well, maybe we should all read it
Yeah.
and then do a show on that.
We should. It's incredibly empowering because there has been a misunderstanding of the role that a woman has to play. When God created Adam and Eve in the garden, they were meant to be equal partners. Yes, the man is to protect, be the champion of his wife, love her completely and protect her, but he doesn't lord over her. He doesn't command her to do things, which a course I took on spiritual abuse and domestic violence. I heard all kinds of survivor stories where women's husbands who were Christians were doing terrible things to them in the name of God, and it was just terrible. But they survived and got out of it. But the point is, intuition is a gift to women. It is a powerful gift, and it can be intimidating to men because we know things, because the Spirit of God tells us things. And we are to bring that to them, to encourage them, to bring correction and instruction. And so that has been removed, taken out, misunderstood. And the truth is, when we are functioning the way God made us to function, there is amazing harmony in the marriage. If our husband can receive it and accept it, there's an incredible union, and 2 people can come together and do amazing things for God. As we rely on the gifts that God has given our men, that they need to recognize and respect the gifts God's given to us. We can walk in that authority. So.
Yeah, and even to a single woman, just to know that in the garden, the original design was, and God made them in his image, male and female, he made them. Mm-hmm. And so we both genders are image bearers of God himself. Mm-hmm. And he lays it out. It's so helpful to understand the original language, because when we translate into our various national languages as Gentiles, get the word, thank God we have it. But we lose some original purpose. Mm-hmm. So the female God named Ezer, and I'll mess it up. Maybe you can help me because you speak Hebrew better. It's like Kenegdo.
Yes. Kenegdo, yeah.
Is that right?
Uh-huh.
Ezer Kenegdo? Something like that. And it means, well, we translate it in like English as helper, which sounds like subservient. Right. And it sounds small, and it sounds second.
Helper.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it means to come alongside in battle. It is more of a warrior term, and God continuously refers to himself in this name, which shows you this is how women reflect God, because we both do. So he's naming her this Ezer word, and he's naming it himself. And we see it as like, he's my strong tower. He's an ever-present help in time of trouble. And you read all these times he's calling himself by this word, by this name that he gave the woman, and it's powerful. And it's almost like, I love the book Captivating by Stacey Eldridge, and she gives you this sense of, because Hebrew is pictorial, it's a poetic language. Yes. And so there's imagery attached to the words. But one of my favorite words in Hebrew is hesed. I think it's like chesed. It means like long nose, and it's where we get count to 10 when you're angry. And it's this. It means love, but the long nose is, you know, when you're mad and you do that 1, 2, 3. It's the cooling off time. So God the picture is he has this long nose. In other words, it's so big that when he's breathing in, he never actually, it's so big. His anger will never override. There's such a pause. It's so big, he can take in so much air that it's such a big pause that love will always be the first thing that comes out. Hasset, big nose, right?
Wow.
Isn't that cool? So like the pictures, so like the picture that Stacy was painting with this Ezer Kenegdo in Hebrew is this to come alongside in battle, and it was more of like I have your back. We battle back to back. You are multiplied because I am at your back. I am at your side. I have a sword. You have a sword. I have a shield. You have a shield. We can like turn in every direction, and we're protected and can defend. And nothing is exposed. And so it's like this strong warrior helper word.
That is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And the first image that comes to me is my livestock guardian dogs. Is the way that they protect when there is predators, anything coming on the property. That's why you have to have multiple of them so they can go back to back and spin around and get, because the predator will go for their tail. Because once you get that tail, then they can swing them around and get their jugular. So they go back to back and spin around, and that's how they fight. And there was a story of a livestock guardian dog that was by himself, and he went and protected the flock from like
sad?
No, from 11 or 12 coyotes. And he came back, and the shepherd went and looked, and he counted these coyotes that this dog had killed, and all of the sheep were completely fine and protected. The only bad thing was that the coyotes got his tail. They got but he kept spinning around and getting them and spinning around, but he didn't have another helper. He didn't have a wife to be back there and help. And so I'm so thankful that picture is so vivid, because that's who we are. We need each other in battle. Even single people. I need community. I need community to have my back. Because when I'm spinning around, somebody could get my tail. You know?
And I think that is I believe we have an adversary. The Bible says that the devil roars around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he can devour. And, I'm not of the belief that there's just goodness and love in God in the world. There is a very real and present darkness. And so one of the strategies of the enemy, I think, is to isolate. And because when you're isolated, you're more susceptible to brokenness and defeat. And I think that's I have a tendency in our fight or flight or freeze survival mechanism that's wired into all of us as humans. My tendency is to flight and to retreat. And so I have to watch that, knowing that I've pulled away too hard. And I need to lean in to family and to community. And I have people around me that will try to pull out, or they'll reach out to Chip and they'll say, Becky's in her wigwam. How long has she been in her wigwam? And anyway.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Some of the hardest things are some of our strengths. Right? Because retreat could also be at the feet of Yeshua.
Oh yeah. So that would be good to there is a point of healthy, what I would call wintering. I don't know if you've heard of that phrase, where each season in nature can also be reflected in our soul. And a lot of plants will winter, even animals hibernate. And in that, their roots are still growing strong, and there's a restoration that's happening within them and a strength that's building that they take into the next season. So I think that there's a season and a time and places in our life for healthy retreat, but we can stay too long and get too comfortable and never come out with the lesson that God gave us, because everything he gives us and everything he does in us isn't just for us, it's to share, it's for others.
Yes.
And so when we stay in that comfort place, it's like we're eating all the cake. You know, it just like once we get healed, or once we get filled with whatever it was we needed from the Lord to change or for him to do, if we just stick in that place, we're kind of becoming hoarders of spiritual gifts. And I actually had an awful dream quite recently of all these rotten seeds in my mouth, and I was pulling them out, and it was so disgusting. Like I woke up with that nightmare feeling. If you've ever had nightmares where the pounding heart and the sweat and the right, even though it wasn't necessarily scary, it was so gross that I was terrified. And then when I woke up, the thing I heard in my spirit was, the seeds are the gospel. And I immediately like fell into a state of repentance that God had put so many things in my mouth, and I hadn't been speaking, and I hadn't been sharing, and they were seeds to be planted, and I was just holding them, and they were rotting. They were literally growing into my gums and into my teeth, and it was not the design. It was not the design. Wow. And it was just like, Lord, help me to open my mouth and release the things you've given me, and maybe this is a part of helping me fulfill some of those callings, that he's getting some of those seeds out of my mouth and into the ears of others.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, I believe that.
Okay, I think we're recording.
Okay. Because if it's not good, we'll just try again.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we can.
Yes, we can.
Thanks for watching or listening, or watching and listening Wild Honey. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So cute. Look at how cute we are. Oh my.
Yes.
Because some people will probably just listen, but some people will watch.
That's true.
So,
Right. Okay,
you
Barb, do you want to
close it differently if you want?
Or do you want me to
Thanks
go?
for joining us on Wild Honey. That
Okay.
sounds more like you.
That's all I need to say?
Yeah.
See here.
Right.
I know, my hair's all weird too. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
That works too.
Bye.
Bye. That's gonna be my favorite.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. This is so weird because like
What?
Becky's over there, but she's over there. It's
Oh, right.
It's backwards. Yes,
It's like here. That's right.
Oh my gosh, I wonder how many calories I just burned.
Right, we
Okay.
both go over here.
Right. Is that better?
Amanda's still It's okay.
I don't understand.
It's okay.
I
can deal
don't
with
understand it
it. My brain's going, what?
Okay.
Okay, Amanda, you do something. You say something.
Okay.
Oh, my battery's going on.
Before we lose
No,
battery.
hurry. The pressure of it all. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We love you, and we can't wait for you to come back with us.
And watch next time. And listen again.
And listen or watch. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
We're not actresses.
No, we're not. We're not.
We're not. But
What about something as simple as this? Thanks for joining us on Wild Honey. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
that's
Bye.
cute.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
Becky,
good.
you're so good at that. You're good at that.
Thank
We're silly, you know? Yeah, that's good. That's cute.
Okay.